Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm keeping it down a little bit this morning, like I do sometimes. I've got my instant coffee here, and here we go.
Ethereum, along with Bitcoin, rising yesterday after Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he owns the cryptocurrency as well. He made the comment at the B-Word conference hosted by the Crypto Council for Innovation. Musk has been accused of using his celebrity to move the price of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. He addressed that during the conference.
I might pump, but I don't dump. It's not a case of, I definitely do not believe in getting the price high and selling or anything like that. And I would like to see Bitcoin succeed.
SpaceX, I guess, owns it too.
SpaceX owns it, he owns it, and Tesla owns it.
Right.
So
Kathy Wood suggested that there are other companies that might start adding it to their balance sheets too to act as a hedge. And interesting.
Well, we've heard that. I mean, we've heard that from both sides. We've heard, Kathy Woods will say that, and Mike Novogratz will say that, and then we'll have people like, Larry Fink will say that nobody's talking to him about this in sort of either the sovereigns or true corporate America. So
What he means is nobody's talking to them about proof of work digital assets. They're talking to them plenty. Larry Fink's with the World Economic Forum. They're talking to them plenty, or maybe not yet for investment purposes, but he's well aware of what's going on with digital assets, with the World Economic Forum and all the different things we show on this channel all the time.
Hard to know who's actually, and one has a much greater incentive than the other.
Right, but there has been more adoption than anyone thought in the last 12 months, a lot more mainstream type action. And that's why, it's had the move it's had. Still, the move is, it's still 32,000. It was at like 4 a couple of years ago, 4,000. Musk also said Tesla would likely start accepting Bitcoin for purchases again for vehicles. He said he wanted to confirm that the percentage of renewable energy use for Bitcoin mining is at above 50%. He confirmed that he still holds Bitcoin, and as he said, he doesn't dump. Also his companies do too. Tesla and SpaceX must,
Bitcoin.
Doesn't put that. Everybody dumps, right? What's that? There's a book written for kids called that, isn't there?
I think it's Everybody Poops.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Different. Musk also explained. Thank you. Musk also explained.
What is going on?
You know the book, Everybody Poops, Andrew?
It's true. It's true.
What's going on is that you guys are carrying a narrative. You're carrying someone's water, and you're not talking about the digital assets that really are going to be a part of this financial system. XRP, XLM, Algorand. I won't go into all of them, but you guys know exactly what they are. And you're too busy carrying a narrative to be journalists or investigative journalists or anything that you supposedly went to school to be. Michelle Vandenberg sent me this. This is a company, Tranglo. Ripple, I believe, I think they bought 40% of this company a while back. It says, we're working on something exciting that is going to transform payments and fintech. Stay tuned. RippleNet, blockchain, crypto, XRP, loading. That's a pretty cool graphic, but they're telling you right here it involves not just Ripple, but XRP. That's the signal. Riz XRP sent me this. We talked about this yesterday, but this CoinDesk finally picked it up and ran this article, and the picture of Jed McCaleb I think just had to be shown, because just to reiterate, just to go back through the history for those of you that didn't see my video yesterday. So the SEC, after 8 years of Ripple trying to work with regulators, sues Ripple. This causes Ripple and MoneyGram to split up the partnership that they had working, so they no longer have the partnership. Jed McCaleb, during the SEC lawsuit, he's probably the biggest seller of XRP, more than Chris Larson or Brad Garlinghouse. Nobody touches him, just like they never touched him on Mt. Gox. Nobody ever goes after Jed McCaleb. So this time, The SEC doesn't even want to talk to him, from what I've seen. Doesn't want to depose him, doesn't want to talk to him about his XRP sales. He's done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, which for me goes to the thing that I've said many times, everybody's always been mad about Jed McCaleb selling his XRP, but has anybody ever asked, who is he selling it to? Okay, that's another thing. But then, so Jed McCaleb's completely untouched in this SEC thing, and now he's going to buy MoneyGram. Well, my understanding is for him to buy MoneyGram, he has to work with the SEC. So not only is the SEC not going after him, but they're working with him to help him do this while they've sidelined Ripple. All the world is a stage, people. That's what this looks like right here. Okay, this is an important thing for you to know. Many of you may not have picked up on this. This is a thread. Mr. Intuitive, who is the official cool guy of this channel, he was talking about summary judgment, and he says we may very well be seeking that summary judgment for Ripple. Think about it. Why did they only make motions to dismiss for Brad and Chris? Why not Ripple too? And then Jeremy Hogan comes in and he says, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but I think Ripple did not move to dismiss the lawsuit because it wanted 100% complete victory at the summary judgment, which would provide finality and case precedent. You can win on a motion to dismiss, and the lawsuit could be filed again. A win at summary judgment is a complete win. No trial because the case is over. And I just wanted to make sure everybody out there understood that. I'm not an attorney, but it's nice to have one that's answering these questions. So they need a summary judgment, or they have to go to trial and win to get the precedent is the way. And the precedent would be, if they create precedent, it would be the Ripple test, which is what Stuart Alderati said he wanted from the very beginning when this lawsuit came down. Positive regulation is for the entire crypto market. This is from James Rule. It's coming, people. The 2017 bull run will look like a blip on the chart. Bitwise Cryptocurrency Index Fund CIO predicts next major bull run with positive regulation. So, folks, this is what this crypto has been leading up to for the 8+ years that I've been in this. This is what we've had. We've had this cloud hanging over our heads all this time. No regulation. What's going to happen when we finally get this regulation, and I believe it's imminent, what's going to happen is all of a sudden the most conservative people you know. I have an uncle who is the biggest penny pincher you've ever met in your life. He takes no risks, and he's just not that type of person. And people like that will be the last ones to come in. They'll come in only once the government has passed regulations that make them 1,000% comfortable. And when they do, those of us out here who took the risks and really looked into what we were investing in, that's when we really win. Okay, next, and here you can see it happening right here. Goldman Sachs, who has put down crypto and Bitcoin and all this stuff for years, now, just a couple of months ago, they announced they were getting into custody, and now they're saying family offices are becoming more interested in crypto investments. This is Goldman Sachs survey, and here's part of it. Conducted by the bank found that 45% of family offices are interested in investing in cryptocurrencies. A further 15% of the more than 150 that responded already do. They see the crypto industry as a hedge against higher inflation. So anyway, bottom line is they're all coming. I've said it for over 3 years. They're all coming. Now, we do not, I was joking up here that when the SEC, people from the SEC speak from now on, since they speak in front of the SEC logo and it always seems official, they need to have a ticker that runs across the bottom that says, this is only my personal opinion. They usually say that at the beginning of their speeches, but what about for the people that can't hear?
I mean, in some sense, the stable coins are a more exciting option than a central bank digital currency. They're competing stable coins now. And so I think that they can function in a very similar way to a government run currency and don't have the same kinds of privacy concerns that a government CBDC might have.
Okay, and then let's see. Then there was this. Now this is interesting. Listen very closely to these guys talking right here.
Now let's look at CBDCs. The central banks are all saying yes. The CBDCs will be the third liability in our balance sheet. It's legally it is a.
While this is playing, if you hear a microwave in the background and water running, that would be me making my instant coffee.
Ability. And so what we want is we want to have these cross-border payments where somebody in the U.S. can transfer money to somebody in Ireland, somebody in Japan to the tune of, say, $1,000. That transaction is going to have to be settled too, because the bank money itself is a liability. It's a liability to the Fed in the U.S., and it's a liability to, let's say the Bank of Japan in Japan. So that transaction, when you send $1,000 of reserves or central bank digital currency, U.S., to Japan, Japan's not going to take on that liability for no reason. That transaction is going to have to be settled. How is that transaction going to be settled? And the answer is, same answer. You can settle it in gold, or you can settle it in a world reserve currency that ain't the US dollar. It's going to have to be something else. But when you hear all these discussions about central bank digital currency, you never hear anybody saying, how are you going to settle those intercontinental transfer payments? How are those transactions going to be settled? And I'm here to tell you that the answer is going to be, it's going to be settled by a world reserve currency that's coming out of, like you said, the Bank for International Settlements or the World Bank or the IMF or something. But it's going to be a reserve currency that enables a top dog bank. It's like the BIS. I'm going to use the BIS as the example. The BIS would then be the top bank, and you wouldn't be able to bankrupt the BIS because it'll be able to issue as much reserve currency as it wants. And the subsidiaries in the system will then be the central banks. And so then you'll have the legal subjugation of the Federal Reserve to the top dog bank, because you're going to have to settle those central bank digital currency transfers one way or the other. And that's one of the things nobody's ever talking about in the CBDCs. But that's how I see this playing out. Now, it could play out a lot of ways. I could be wrong, but the settlement question is going to have to be answered. And it's not even being asked right now.
Oh, it's being asked. Does anybody remember? I'm about to have to go get my coffee. It's almost, I've got the water in the microwave and it's almost done. And then I'll probably come over here and mix it while I talk to you. Let me go get it real quick. Okay. So here's the dealio. Does anybody remember when Miguel Valles said that he had a simple goal of making XRP a world reserve digital, I can't remember if he said digital currency or digital asset, but he said one of those, and it's been said more than once, okay? And so that's one thing that's always kind of blown my mind is who says that? Who says that from some startup? Oh yeah, we have a simple goal of being a world reserve digital currency. Really? They don't say that. Small businesses in my town don't talk like that. I can tell you that. Okay, moving along. I wanted to show you this. iTrustCapital put this out yesterday, I believe. Flare and Songbird Network, we are currently awaiting action by leaders like Coinbase and their support plans for Flare and other related assets. We believe in following industry best practices, which are typically set by regulated industry leaders. Flare recently announced they expect to go live near the end of September. In the meantime, we are working to support client demands, but at the same time ensuring we support the industry at large by following our robust listing requirements. All assets listed on iTrustCapital platform must be non-securities, including having both U.S. regulatory liquidity providers and custody support. We will release more information on this topic as it arrives. And this guy says, this reads as though you could be reconsidering evaluating the previous declaration. Declaration that Spark Airdrop would be supported. What changed? Songbird Network should be independent of what was already determined regarding Spark. And then they said the Spark Airdrop was supported. This tweet is mainly explaining our logic around future listing trading for Spark and any other derivatives Songbird included. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. So the way I read that is that they're still supporting Spark, but as of now, they've got to hear from Coinbase as to whether they're going to support Songbird. Okay. Now, everybody saw this meme yesterday from Ashton Kutcher, where he keeps saying, "Hey, babe," and he's asking her all these questions, and then at the end, he says, "Hey, babe, what's Ethereum?" And he's got Vitalik Buterin sitting in the room. Well, sometimes memes like this need to be made fun of, and so I did. And here we go. This is the one I put together this morning, and it's pretty classic in my opinion.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's crypto?
I'm not going to comment on specific crypto assets and whether they are a security or not a security, but you captured the definition very well. Now, am I giving you my money for you to go off in a venture, or I'm relying on your efforts and the efforts of your colleagues?
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's blockchain?
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the funding model. So we will have a fundraiser for 2 months starting February 1st. It will be available at funds.ethereum.org. So the initial issuance will be 1,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin, or up to 2,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin if you get in early to compensate for the increased risk. So the issuance model is that we will fundraise. Suppose that we hand out X Ether for the fundraiser, then there will be about 0.5x will be pre-mined, and then 0.4x after that will be mined per year forever.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's decentralization?
Yeah, at this point, if you're investing in Ethereum, I would say you're investing in the team and the community to a large extent.
Oh. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's Ethereum?
ICOs are fraud, speculative, and speculation drives innovation. So they're very important in creating foundational infrastructure.
And that's what you call illustrating absurdity. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I did a "Hey Babe, what's a security" meme. Thanks for listening.